Hi everyone, this is Josh Blatt with BW Modern. Today we're going to talk a little bit about kitchen design. So this is kind of a sample kitchen that I've started doing, and I've made a lot of other videos kind of in the process of how to place these appliances and your sinks and your ovens and how to create your refrigerator cabinet and things like that. So when you're doing a kitchen design, you usually always want to start with the overall measurements of the room you're working with. So you're going to physically measure these things at your house. Before you even start anything, you're gonna get your room size put together, right? And then you want to pick, your fixed objects in the room that you're going to be competing with. The things that you can't really change, that your fixed objects like your windows and your doors and things like that. And you're going to want to input those into your kitchen design next. After that, you want to start putting in your appliances. What we're trying to do is we're trying to fill in, all the space, with the fixed objects that we really don't have any choice of where they're going to go or how they're going to fit. We want to put all those in first. So I've put my refrigerator in, I've put my ovens in, and then I picked this cool pantry tandem cabinet here that we're going to use in the design. And then we've got our magic corner over here. We've got our tandem pantry. And then, we come around the side over here. We've got our range. This was probably a specific spot and that it needed to be, based on some ducting or whatever. But now we have kind of our fixed objects placed in the room. We've kind of created our work triangle that you hear commonly talked about in kitchen design. And we've got like I said, we've got our fixed objects placed where they need to place. So now we just need to pretty much just fill in the spaces in between with the rest of the cabinetry that we need to kind of complete the countertops and the runs around there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click it back into just kind of your drawings mode here. And I'm going to start on this side. Now if I come over here, I can see that I've got 42 3/8 of space in between our magic corner cabinet and our applied end panel here. So say I want to put a couple of drawer banks there. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of math. I'm going to have to take that 42 3/8, I'm going to have to divide it by 2. So that's going to leave me, let's see, 21 3/16. So now that we're working with BW Modern cabinets, we can make these cabinets any size we want. So I'm going to pick my drawer cabinets, and say I want to do on this side, I want to do a couple banks of 4 drawers. So I'm going to bring one in, and I'm going to bring it in here, and I'm going to make it the 21.3125, the 21 3/16. We determined that it wanted to be to split that in half. Now I can kind of double check myself here, so I didn't type it in correctly. I typed in 21 5/16. So let's go ahead and fix that. We'll change it to 0.1875. Okay, and then click on the next icon down, and that'll get us to change it there. So now we have, our equal spacing here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab another one, bring it in to the designer, and I'm going to snap it in right there. Now from this one here, I can just kind of move it over a little bit and get it to play nice there. So now we've filled in this corner over here with a couple custom sized drawer banks, and then we filled over to our magic corner. So now I'm going to come along over on this side. This is where we've got our dishwasher, so we might want to do some different things over here. We can pick from really anything that we've got in the catalog. So if we look at our sizing here, maybe let's do a base top drawer, and then let's do a cabinet that's got a couple of rollouts in it. So I'm going to bring in a cabinet that's got a couple rollouts in it. And from there, now I'm going to just make it wide until it touches over here. So let's try 24 and see what that does. That's not quite enough. So it looks like I need another 4 1/16 there. Now I'm going to make my dishwasher 24 inches because that's just a better size for a dishwasher, and that's how much space I want to make sure that I leave myself when I do was pretty odd. Not sure where our dishwasher ended up. Oh, it's over here in the corner for some reason. Okay, well now we got it back out of the corner. So that was kind of strange. For whatever reason, it snapped over into the corner there. Usually when something funny like that happens, it'll turn red, and if you just start clicking around in there, you can figure it out. So now we can see here clearly that we need another 4 inches width on this cabinet here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this thing into 28 inches wide. And I'll slide it over to where it's connecting. And it's still not quite making it there. So let's try a couple more inches. Looks like we're creeping in on it here. Let's try 31. It's probably going to be like 31.25. Let's try 31.25. We'll get it there. So 31.25 ended up being too big. So let's go to 31. Let's see if 31 will let us do it there. So that's not happy either. So sometimes, you know, if it was next to a cabinet on the other side, it would snap in real nice. I think what we need to do is we need to take a ½ inch off of this. And then we need to put it 26.75 right there. Okay, now it's happy. So we have everything filled in here for the most part. It looks like we could still get it a little bit closer. I'm going to try to make it just another quarter bigger. Point 75. We know we want that to be like that. And yeah, it looks like we still want to keep going a little bit there. So let's try 30 and 3/4. Sometimes you just gotta keep playing with it a little bit until it gets it right where you want it. But the important thing is to make sure it's where you want, to where everything's kind of closing up nicely. So that looks really good there. So I'm pretty happy with that, the way that's turning out in that corner. Now I can select this cabinet here and change it into a pair of doors. So now if we go into the render mode and we go to the interactive view, you can see here we've got our magic corner in the corner, and it's clearing, and then we've got a drawer up here, and then we have a pair of doors there, and then we have the rollouts below. So, and then over here on this side we have our 4 drawer banks. So pretty much, guys, what you want to do is, you know, as you're designing stuff, you want to start with your fixed objects, and then, like I said, start kind of filling in the blanks in between with these cabinets. These cabinets are completely custom in size, so you can make them really whatever you need to fill the spaces accurately and have good success. Now, you know, this cabinet over here was giving us a little bit of fits because we were dealing with a dishwasher and a filler, which are kind of, you know, some weird situations for the software to deal with. But now that we're just dealing with a cabinet to cabinet situation, on this cabinet I can see my box here is 34 3/4, and if I look at this closest, it says 7 inches, so I can make this one 37 3/4, and it's going to grow it the right size to what we need for filling in that blank. And then there again we can come in and we can put our pair of doors on that. And then as we come around the corner on this side, what I'll do is I'll grab a couple drawer banks, because sometimes it's nice to have some bigger drawers next to your appliance. Actually, you know what? Let's do some tray dividers, because sometimes it is really nice to have some tray dividers there next to your range. So if I look at this now, I can see that the closest thing on that side is 10 inches, so I can make this width, say 25. And slide it over. And then maybe since we've got a little bit bigger width there, now we'll change it into a pair of doors. And so now we have some nice tray dividers there next to our range. If we look at it like this and we open up the doors. That'd be a good spot for pots and pans or cookie sheets, excuse me, things like that. And then on the other side of the range, we just want to fill in this space. We want to pick whatever cabinet we're wanting to use in that space there to fill it. So I think we probably grab some drawers for that one. I'm going to grab maybe a nice 3-drawer bank, and we can grab a 3-drawer bank, bring it in here, and then we can kind of see how close it is to this door. We're going to want to leave some room in between the cabinet and the door, but if we click on it here, we can see that it doesn't have it closest on that side, so it's not recognizing the door. Let's check our measurements. It's not showing anything really for measurements wise. Maybe let's just try kind of sliding it over here a little bit and putting it somewhere where we think it's going to look good there. So let's go 48. Seems to be a good number out of that. So we can do that, and then we can check the closest on this side, which is 8. So we need to add another 8 inches to this cabinet. So I'm going to make it 26. And then slide it over to the range. Now we have our drawers on the end of our run there that we just clipped in next to that, and we're going to need something to finish off the side of this cabinet. Now we've went through that whole dance in the applied ends video, so I'm going to just go through it real quick here again. I'm going to go to the ends, and I'm going to grab a applied end, and I'm going to stick it there. And then, I'm kind of a fan of turning off the countertop, and then we can click on the countertop on this one, and then we can extend it over the 1.5 inches so it covers it there properly. And we can either leave it going to the floor like that, or if we like that look, or we can change it to a toe kick type look by simply changing this to 30.5 and then raising it off the floor 4 inches. So now we have the toe kick look instead of the end panel to the floor look. So that kind of gives you guys an idea of how to, like I said, fill in the blanks on your kitchen design, after you get your fixed objects placed in the kitchen perimeter.